Hey guys, this is Zoom. So I know it's been a really long time since I've made a video, and I'm really to blame for that. Just life's been really hectic recently. Good kind of hectic, if that's a thing. But anyways, guys, today I wanted to showcase the deck I've been running for the past couple months. I think it's been a little over 3 months that I've been playing with this deck. It's had several incarnations though before, and I'll go through the evolution of the deck. But I've been able to reach my highest elo with this deck, which is the one I currently have, 4042. I was super excited about reaching 4000 with this deck. But let's get to it, guys, because I really do feel like this deck is super viable in the current meta. I like to call it Tropical Ghost. The reason for that was because the first couple incarnations of this deck ran Tropical Energy. I no longer run it, and I'll tell you guys, I'll go over if I would put it back in or not. But let's take a look at the current deck, guys. This is it. As y'all can see, I run Mimikyu, Sableye, Lunala, Sceptile, Zapdos, and Tapu Koko. Now, guys, full disclosure, I am not free to play. So as y'all can see, I have some pretty good chain levels on my pieces. But truth be told, nowadays everyone's got a chain level 10 Lunala, chain level 10 Zapdos minimum. If they run those kind of figures. And as far as rare cubes go, they're not particularly difficult to get. And this video guide is geared towards more competitive players. People that feel like they may be stuck in the 3500s, 3400s, or want to get to the next tier of competitiveness. That's not to say beginners or intermediate level players won't be able to find any use from this video guide, but like I said, chains are important, especially once you get higher up in the ladder, guys. So definitely keep that in mind. It really sucks, when you've been outplaying someone, but they just beat you based on chains. I hate that feeling, guys. I've had it before. But like I said, I have been smart with my chain level placement, and I do buy usually the $8 packs and the $4 pack, and from time to time I do buy the $80 pack. So I'm definitely not free to play, but I do feel that anyone can compete, really, especially if they're a good player. And Pokemon Duel has been handing out EX cubes pretty frequently here lately, so it's definitely not hard to chain level very specific figures. But let's get down to why I have figures in my deck. We're actually going to start off with Mimikyu. Okay, guys, so when Mimikyu first came out, I fell in love. The backstory, the origin of Mimikyu is super like cute and depressing. But other than that, it was super like meta for me as soon as it came out. The reason for that is a lot of people discarded him, just because he doesn't really have a high damage output. But I feel the reason that the devs put him out was not necessarily to be a beat stick. The reason they put Mimikyu out when they did was, in my opinion, to counter Tapu Koko. Now, the reason being, guys, is as we all know, Tapu Koko can move through figures except fairy types. And Mimikyu does have the distinction of being a fairy type. So right off the bat, he blocks Tapu Koko from moving. But not only that, Mimikyu's ability, which is called Disguise. When this Pokemon moves from the bench to the field, attach a disguise marker to this Pokemon. While that marker is attached to it, this Pokemon is not knocked out in battle. Instead of knocking it out, remove the marker and any special conditions affecting it. This Pokemon can MP move through other Pokemon on the field. So, pretty much he's got a double life, which is really awesome. Now things like Blaziken and Combusken's Cyclone Kick, Lunala's Moongeist Beam, Solgaleo's I believe it's Sunseal Strike, do send it straight to the PC. So be aware of that, guys. But other than that, it takes two knockouts to get him to the PC, guys. So that's, first of all, great. Now, second of all, you know, besides the fairy typing, what I really love about him are his attacks. Now, Curse, you know, Curse is always good. Curse is always good. That's actually what I have leveled to level 10 on mine. A lot of people I know like to level up Play Rough, and that's not, you know, I'm not saying that's bad, but guys, like, when it comes to cursing, if you can exclude a Pokemon from your opponent's team, that's always an advantage to you. You know, sometimes it sucks, you know, like when you roll Curse onto a gold attack, you know, but most of the time, if I can get a Curse going, guys, it'll really put pressure on my opponent and give me good kind of pressure, you know, for me to have that attacking presence, you know, or like that, you know, they don't want to attack into one of my figures and get excluded. But other than that, his main attack, Play Rough, on the next turn your opponent cannot use Blades. Guys, when Mimikyu first came out, I used to cheese so many wins because I would get him to an opponent's entry point, and then it usually came about like they would be guarding their goal with like a Mew or you know, a Tapu Koko, and I would double chance Play Rough, and you know, once you hit the Play Rough, they cannot goal block. They can't double chance to try to get an attack, and even if they double chance, like usually if Mimikyu has his disguise marker, unless you have one of the aforementioned figures that send Pokemon straight to the PC or displace your Pokemon, you win. It's good game because, you know, they can't knock you out twice in one turn. So I really do feel like Mimikyu is the most underrated figure in the meta currently. I know some people are getting wise to how good Mimikyu is, but I definitely feel like he is underused. So guys, if you got a Mimikyu, you know, try him out, see what you think. Now, the only thing that bothers me about my Mimikyu is the chain levels placement. The reason I say that is a lot of people have chain level 10 Sableye, for example, and they, you know, Sableye has one attack, and they all put it on that Shadow Sneak, which is 70, so it goes up to an 80. And guys, I just feel like Mimikyu has two really good but really bad attack values, because 70 is common, you know, with Sableye and Groviles, and 30 is definitely common, especially with Tapu Koko, and not so much Mew, but, you know, sometimes you do see Mews. So I like to have you know, a little bit of both. You know, sometimes it's been very rare when I've been out damaged in either attack, you know, guys, but it's very uncommon. It's so rare that I don't think it's worth you know, maxing out the 70, for example. All right, next on, guys, is one of my current favorites, guys, Sableye. Now, this guy is a hard counter to Lunala and to Solgaleo. Solgaleo more than Lunala, because believe it or not, guys, I've had Lunala roll her double purples Boongeist onto Sableye's 1-star purple Will-O-Wisp, which sucks, guys. But anyways, guys, on my Sableye, I have everything all maxed out Confuse Ray, pretty much, guys. I've been thinking about, you know, sometimes it sucks when you really need an attack, and, you know, or like you know, you need the attack value like the 70, and you keep rolling the purples, you know. So I feel like Sableye is definitely more of a utility piece. You don't want to be attacking with him too much, and when you do attack, it's because you want the status effect, guys. For example, like I have no problem attacking a Lunala or a Solgaleo, because more likely than not, they're gonna get status effect on them, which pretty much not necessarily completely makes them disabled, but it definitely hurts, you know, for sure. But let's see. This hacking gems. This Pokemon can pass through other Pokemon when an MP moves. When this Pokemon is on the field, opposing Pokemon deal -1 damage. Alright, guys, believe it or not, his ability, Sableye's ability, is one of my core strategies. The reason I say that, guys, is unless you're facing a double Deoxys attack deck. You know, the ones with like that usually have 140 attack already. You know, like chain level 10 Deoxys plus that bird. I don't know what the name of it is. It's one of the what is it called? Like a Tapu Byleth, something like that. I can't remember, but pretty much the little bird, its ability is it gives +1 to each for every psychic on the field. So pretty much people you know, boost their Deoxys to like 145, 146, whatever it may be. But let's assume that your opponent does not have the little bird. It's like a psychic type, and they just have like for example, like a maxed out a Lunala or a maxed out Deoxys attack. So they're hitting for 140 pretty much. Now, with that, with Sableye's ability, my Lunala, which is maxed out as well, and my Zapdos, which is 110 but hits for 140 when boosted by Tapu Koko, they're able to win the chain level war because my opponent's attack gets minus by 1. So pretty much I win 140 to 139. So this is a super integral part to my team, guys. I love Sableye. I wish I would have picked him up sooner. You know, put him in my deck sooner. But, you know, he's been rocking it. And, you know, sometimes it sucks, especially versus a Mew. Mew will most likely kill Sableye. But I've had a couple times where I've hit Shadow Sneak to Mew's Hypersonic. So I win that. But anyways, guys, let's move on to the next figure. All right, Lunala. Now, I don't know what everyone thinks about Lunala. I personally love her. I'm not gonna say she's the most balanced figure, but I personally don't feel she's OP. I don't think she's broken. I think she's a very strong figure. But like quite honestly, like, you know, literally any status effect cripples her. Like, you know, Zapdos what is it? Thunder Charge? Yeah, Thunder Charge. Seismitoad's ability instantly poisons her. Sableye hard counters her. Like, I feel there's a lot of hard counters to Lunala. You know, but if she's not status affected, then you know she's a monster. Now, guys, as we all know, let me read the ability. The battle opponent of this Pokemon cannot move by other effects other than the attacks of this Pokemon until the end of battle. If this Pokemon is not affected by a special condition, half the attack damage dealt to this Pokemon by the battle opponent. This Pokemon can MP move through other Pokemon on the field. Alright, guys, so that's like a really, I feel like really badly worded ability. But pretty much, guys, if let's say my opponent has a 130 attack, so naturally, usually 130 would beat 70. But with Lunala's ability, it halves it. So it goes down to 65. So 70 beats 65. And that way Lunala is really a heavy hitter. And then let's look at her attacks. Which one in particular is the really cool one? Moongeist Beam. Move the battle opponent or one of opposing Pokemon that is adjacent to the battle opponent to its PC. Guys, this is a very strong attack. Like, when people usually bring up whether Lunala is overpowered, it's because, you know, of her ability and Moongeist Beam, guys. The power to displace a Pokemon is super strong. Like I said, Lunala's Moongeist Beam is one of the few attacks that instantly sends Mimikyu to the PC, guys. But other than that, guys, one thing I do have usually that you probably don't have on your Lunala, or that, you know, a lot of people like to max out Moongeist Beam, and that's really cool. I really like that, guys. But usually, like, people will attack into her with a gold attacker, and I feel like if I max out the Y, I have more chance of surviving. And so far, that's been true for me, guys. But, you know, let me know what you think about that. You know, you might have a differing experience. You know, I'm always you know, willing to hear different strategies. And I just realized, guys, I could have swiped left and right instead of going back. But anyways, guys, next moving on is my Sceptile. Guys, Sceptile is my favorite Pokemon, just in general. Now, guys, I do believe that before Lunala and Solgalio's release, Sceptile was for sure top 5 Pokemon. In my opinion, top 3, top 2. You know, him and Virizion were like, you know, the ones to have. But ever since Lunala and Solgaleo were released, I feel like he's been, he's definitely still top 10 guys in my opinion. But I feel like he's not as powerful as he used to be. The reason being is, with Lunala, it's like iffy matchup. It's like you're either gonna roll your 140 to Lunala's purple sometimes, and that sucks, or you're gonna roll your regular 90 to Lunala's 140 technically, and you're gonna lose. I've seen a lot of people start to max out stealth hit guys. I personally don't like that, just because I want the biggest chance to hit the 140 guys. Other than that though, guys, like, Sceptile is still really good versus Deoxys attack. I personally maxed out my not maxed out, but I put 9 chains into Leaf Blade, because that way a Tapu Koko cannot knock me out without the use of an X attack or something that modifies attack. And Tapu Bulu, unless he hits the full swing, he can't knock me out. Tapu Lele can't knock me out unless she has a chain on or two. Like a chain on her attack. But even then, guys, Sceptile always has a chance of hitting 140. So definitely still a very strong figure in the meta. Not as prominent as he used to be, but definitely still really good, guys. He's just, because he's all around good attack, defense, utility, guys. The Sceptile does it all. Moving on to Zapdos. Guys, I know a lot of people have, like, you either love him or you hate him. Guys, I used to be the type that hated Zapdos, but that's because I didn't have one. And I had the materials to craft one, but I was just like, no, he's all hype. But, guys, after like 9-10 months in the meta, guys, Zapdos is here to stay. Now, I do have, Thunder Crash, obviously, maxed out. I really love double chancing, guys, with Zapdos on my turn. And, either pretty much hitting like a Lunala, for 85, or, Deoxys attack. Now, like I said, 110 plus 30 through Tapu Koko's ability puts me at 140, guys. And Sableye Hacking Gem's ability -1 my opponent's damage. So pretty much, guys, I use Zapdos primarily to knock out Blaziken, Lunala, and Deoxys attack. He's like my heavy hitter. And he's he's very self-explanatory. Heavy hitter with the yellow, guys. Other than that, it sucks. Sometimes he can be super inconsistent. But I honestly, lately I've been loving his Thunder Charge, because, like, for example, like if I get Thunder Charge, I can just release it on Lunala or Solgaleo, which are super big in the meta currently, and that, like I said, that cripples them, guys. And moving on, guys, Tapu Koko. I honestly feel like he is the best figure in the game, guys. I honestly do. I have mine maxed out with Melemele Wish just for the survivability. And, sometimes the cheese wins, guys. Guys, I would not recommend this if you're like a safe player. But usually, sometimes, guys, I like to bait my opponent into attacking my Tapu Koko if I have one of my Pokemon on their entry points and they don't have someone blocking their goal. Because, I'm not like this RNG conspiracy theorist guy, but sometimes I feel like the game rolls Melee Wish so you get the win. Like, I'm probably just assuming things, guys, but it happens more often than not. There's not much to be said about Tapu Koko other than he's really good. He goes through people except Fairy. The quick attack is nice. The yellow, the wild charge can hurt people. He's a hard counter to Mew. I personally feel like Mew is not meta. There's just so many figures that outclass Mew. Because if you guys notice, guys, all the Tapus counter Mew. Tapu Koko hard counters him. Solgaleo Sunsteel Strike counters Mew. And Lunala's 70 counters. Pretty much, you have to roll Lunala's purple into Mew's hypersonic for Mew to win. And that's the reason I like to max out my white on Lunala, just to give me survivability versus gold attackers. But let's look at my plates, guys. Now, this is when what I mean when I said that I've had different iterations of my deck. Like for example, my plates. Let's see. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Let's just go to edit plates so we can look at them. I have 2 double chances, 2 max revives, and a gold block. Now, my setup used to be 3 double chance, 1 max revive, 1 gold block, and 1 tropical energy. The reason I had tropical energy was for duels versus Deoxys decks and for duels versus poison decks. But guys, I really do feel like I've seen a lot less and less, definitely of Deoxys deck and to some extent poison decks. Like I feel like they got really big for a couple months and but now I hardly see them. You know, guys, max revive is my favorite plate. You know, I feel like gold block is the best plate though. Because guys, it's like a get out of jail free card. You know, a lot of people don't like it because of that same instance. You know, but sometimes, you know, like either the opponent gets lucky or you overextended, and you need like a safety net. But yeah, guys, this is my deck. Let me know if you have any questions. So I'm gonna go over like some quick general strategy, guys. Obviously, Tapu Koko, Zapdos engine, amazing. You know, especially with that big gold. Sceptile, can be an attacker, a defender, a utility piece. You guys name it, he can do it. Lunala is my, I guess, main heavy hitter. Zapdos is my counter to, Sableye is my counter to Lunala, my counter to Combuskin. You know, Zapdos can as well play that role. My counter to Solgaleo. And just generally, people don't want to attack into him because they're probably going to get burned or confused. So he's just really good disruption piece. And Mimikyu, guys, like I said, he is the most underrated figure in the game out right now. If you have one, I would definitely try one now, guys. Because, you know, I've had games where I've cursed and excluded 3 of my opponent's Pokemons just because of Mimikyu. Lately, I've been playing him as a goalie kind of figure, just because, like I said, people do not want to hit into that curse. So it makes people hesitant of attacking Mimikyu. But yeah, guys, that's been it. Like I said, I hadn't uploaded much, if at all, just because life's been so hectic, guys. But I definitely want to get back into uploading, guys. Like I feel, you know, like there's a lot of great content creators currently, but I feel like there's always room for more. I feel like I have enough expertise in the meta and in the game to be helpful to some people. You know, like some other top tier players, you know, might defer in opinion to me about certain strategies, and you know that's fine because, you know, the beautiful thing about Pokemon Duel is how complex it is once you get to it, you know. So there's room for a lot of stuff, a lot of strategies, a lot of you know, just win conditions. There's room for a bunch of decks, guys. But anyways, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any opinions of, you know, what I could change with my deck. I feel like this is probably the best version of my deck that I can make. Oh wow, guys, I almost forgot. Real quick, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there is a very common theme with my deck that is what I feel like helps me climb the ladder, guys. Mimikyu is a ghost. Sableye is a ghost. Lunala is a ghost. Tapu Koko can move through figures that aren't fairy. Zapdos can move through figures that don't have the soar ability. And obviously the 3 ghosts can move through Pokemon. So guys, 5 out of 6 of my figures can move through pieces. That helps because it eliminates the use of or the need for Hurdle Jump. Hurdle Jump, you hardly see it in the top ranks. You know, usually Deoxys players still carry Hurdle Jump, but other than that, guys, you're hard pressed to find someone over 3,700 with a Hurdle Jump. 3,600. I'd even go as far as to say as 3,500. It just doesn't become relevant in the top tiers. And like I said, guys, like this is a deck that competitive players who want to try out a new strategy or new elements of a strategy can use. Beginners can definitely pick it up, but like I said, chains are hard to are definitely necessary in the higher you climb the ladder. So just keep that in mind, guys. I've got 2 rares, 4 EXs, you know. I honestly feel like Zapdos, Sableye, Mimikyu, and Lunala can all be found easily. You know, even Tapu Koko, we had him in the past like 2-3 banners. So I feel like a lot of people have access to a lot of these figures. Now the max revives are going to cost you some gems, guys. So you know, if you save up for a couple days, couple weeks, you can get both of them, guys. But other than that, I think I want to come out with a top 10 meta Pokemon video here in the next couple days. I'm gonna really try to put that out, guys. And forgive me if like I'm still working out the kinks, guys. You know, like I'm not used to content creation, but I definitely have fun doing it. I definitely enjoy it. So let me know if there's something I can improve on. You know, like personally right now, I feel like I've been talking really fast. Tell me, if you need me to slow down. Maybe I say too much, just stuff like that, guys. But other than that, guys, y'all have an amazing day, and I hope to see you next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, share it on Discord, guys. I really want to put out my YouTube channel. I feel like I have, like I said, I have enough expertise where people can learn something. You know, maybe not the top tier players, but definitely someone that's just starting out, or someone that's in the middle, or someone who just wants to climb the ranks. But anyways, guys, this is Zoom. Y'all have an amazing day, and see you later.